Hi everyone, it's Axel, and I hope you're doing well after all the announcement that fell on November 27th. 4 blog posts at the same time. Graphic improvements, new music, a gameplay video, and above all, a release date postponed to 2021. But for more detail on these 4 blog posts, I invite you to watch our previous video. If like me, you like the little detail that no one notices, you will be pleased with this video. We are going to analyze each of these images, pixel by pixel. And don't hesitate to comment if I missed the slightest thing. Anyway, here we go. To make it easier for you to follow and find the images, I will take them in the order in which they appear on each blog post. Let's start with a development update. Never miss the banner image at the beginning of the post. This one, for example, does not teach us much, but it's still a new image with a Quebec, a firefly lantern, and a small field. Anyway, let's take a closer look to this other image. One of the things I noticed was that there were some very small trees. In one of the blog posts, it's confirmed that we will see our cultures growing in real time. It's probably the same with trees. A bit like in Minecraft, where we had several growth stages for trees. At the riverside, we also see small people around on larger block of stone. It's not big news, but I think it's great that so many small details are incorporated into the game. The most important thing is what is in the middle of this image. If you have followed some of the previous blog posts, you will immediately understand that this is an elementary circle of Earth. Located in Zone 1, it's a magical place with a powerful artifact in its center. We don't know yet how this sanctuary is activated, or if we'll have to face hordes of monsters to loot something. But I don't think it will be that simple. Or maybe we can use these sanctuaries to acquire new magical power? Let's take a look now at this image of an Outlander camp. If you still don't understand who the Outlander are, we'll publish a video about them soon. We can see different pieces of furniture in this picture. A small stool, a chair, a campfire, barrels, crate, and torches with metal protection. But above all, this tool which seems to be used to thumb animal skins to make clothes or other things. We are now in this image. It looked like some kind of Egyptian tomb in Zone 2. This looks like the outside of this image, but look inside the tower. Do you have any theories about what this blue thing might be? Some kind of divinity statue? A precious object to be looted? In any case, the blocks with the blue patterns and arabesque are wonderful. Work out well for us as we'll be able to loot everything to build our own house. Alright, now we are in an interesting place. Judging by the breathtaking view through the column, it seems that we are in a very high tower. What could this room be? To understand it, just watch the work in progress video on Graphic Update blog post. It's probably a large dungeon with several rooms like this one. Anyway, the candle on the table make very little light, and that's cool. I have the impression that the developers have handled the fact that the different light sources generate more or less brightness. Before jumping to the next image, I wonder, can those books be taken one by one? Like in Skyrim? Or is it an entire library block like in Minecraft? We'll have to wait to figure it out. The last image of the dev update is interesting, because not only is the work on shadows and light splendid, but we can see above all that the seasons are incorporated into Hytale. Next to the beautiful pines with their green needles, we see dead tree, maybe to symbolize the coming of winter. But even better, they are pinecons. I don't know if we can eat it, or use it as a weapon to throw them on the trucks, but it's great. Let's move on to the second blog post, the one on the progress update. The banner image doesn't teach us much, but it gives us the new biome of Zone 2 that we'll talk about right after. Because yes, this blog post is mainly used to introduce us to Hytale's new features, including 2 new biomes. The first biome is located in Zone 1 of Orbis, and is intended to be an autumnal biome. Marshes, reeds, orange leaves on trees, and pumpkin! Every little detail really reminds us of fall. But is it a permanent biome, or a biome that will only be there in the fall if we keep the idea of season in the game? There will even be bioluminescent orange mushrooms. Rah, I want this game so much! As for the second biomes announced, it's a kind of flowery meadow with a blue lagoon, located in Zone 2. It provides a huge contrast to the desert biome found there. Just by looking at these images, you can see an impressive number of different flowers and woods that will be in the game. Anyway, we now come to a very interesting picture. In the post, we are told that the agricultural system has been improved and that it will be pushed to the limit with the breeding and domestication of animals. Too many things to say about this image. Let's start with the most important thing, the cart on the left. This wooden cart allows you to transport all the tools you need for agriculture. Inside, you can see a fork and a haystack, but I guess this vehicle must be towed by a horse or an ox. In his hand, the character holds a hoe to work the ground in order to make it ideal for growing many plants. We can see that he has started to plant 3 things, but I have no idea what it could be. If there are farmers or gardeners in the comments, feel free to tell me. On the left, we see another stage of cultivation since the plants have already grown and are almost ready to be harvested. Carrots, wheat, and cabbage. In the background, there is still a small cart with a fork and a watering can and strawberries. Well, maybe we can move it by ourselves actually. Okay, last info on this picture, we see the famous bow training target that we already seen in the trailer. I would love a few secondary requests including it, instead of just displaying it around. We stay at the farm with this second image. And then we get to the heart of the matter because it's an in-game image with a lot of information. The large stone torches with blue flames are so beautiful, and it looks like it's very bright, probably to make the enemies flee. Then, let's see what we find in this plantation. Cotton, which confirms that we can surely create our own clothes. In addition to pumpkin, aubergines, carrots, and cabbage, but mostly pumpkins. But what's interesting to see is the growth of these plants. If we take cotton, for example, we see that on the far left, it's a simple plant. Then it becomes a bud, then flowers, before becoming cotton. Ah, life is beautiful. Alright, let's take a closer look at this hotbar. First, we notice that the famous cart is actually an object to put down, like you can put it in your inventory and put it anywhere you want at any time. Okay, then we see that there are different bags. For example, the character holds in his hand a large bag of fertilizer and has a small bag of cucumber seeds in his inventory. Among those 9 slots, we also find the hoe, a sword, and some carrots he collected. I won't dwell on the icon at the bottom right now, we'll come back to it later. Well, maybe we won't linger too much on this new monster because it's horrible. The developers didn't give any information about it or where it lives, so I think we'll hear about it soon. Whoa! What splendid armor though! It's probably just a simple iron armor, but it looks great. At first I thought it was a new enemy, but it's actually just an avatar. The scenery is a little strange. On one side there is a railroad track, and on the other side there is water. It feels like you're in slightly swampy underground. Fortunately, we have some bioluminescent fungi on the ceiling. Let's look at the last image from the previous blog post. I think we have all spotted it. This dinosaur is way too cute. It's like being in the movie Avatar because it's so shiny everywhere. But did you notice the other dinosaur in the background? This one looks a lot less friendly. It could even be the car wreck that the concept art was talking about. Well, I can't wait to visit Zone 4 and this red block here. What is it? Dried lava? Mushroom? It's not over yet, guys. Let's now move on the third blog post, the graphic update blog. This blog post focuses on graphic improvements and on the game, including shadows and light effects. The first image comes from Zone 1. We find a tower that will certainly be a little dungeon to explore. But what intrigues me is the 3 colored circles at the bottom left on the trees. Are they large fruits or parrots? Such a cut mustache, sir. These characters hold a straw grass in this mouth. It's not only stylish, but it means that we can push the personalization of our avatar to the limit. From this firefly lantern at the bottom, it seems that we are not far from the Quebec village. One last intriguing thing in this image, in the background toward the sunflower, it looks like there is kind of grass block. I really don't know what it is. Look at the diversity of mushrooms. Frankly, if each of them has different virtues, we can make a whole bunch of potions. We are in Zone 3. We are at the limit of the snow biomes and a tower is awaiting us in the background. Alright, nothing particular in this image except that the character seems to have gold or copper gloves. With the same material, he was able to make leg protection and an axe. On this next image, we don't learn much, but the reflection on the sun and the water are just magnificent. Hello, Mr. Buffalo. I don't know if they are aggressive, but I think that if we don't attack them, they won't hurt us. Anyway, let's move on to this somewhat strange image. It's an underground cave lit by a ray of sunlight. The candles on the right show that someone is exploring it, but this cave has its own light sources. The problem is that they look like some kind of insect nests or eggs. Or maybe it's minerals to be harvested like some quartz, I don't know. Here is another image that allows you to see the effects of light on the sceneries and on our characters. We will notice once again the fact that we can really personalize our avatar to the fullest. On this one, we learn nothing, but I want to show it to you since it's a new image. It's still amazing the work they did on the shadows. Ha! This is one of my favorite images. This is the first time we've seen the entire stove. It's all there! Oven, hob, pot on the stove, and cutting board. I'm really looking forward to knowing what good food we can cook. In fact, if we come back to this image, I don't know what the two lines represent. If the red represents life, maybe we have to eat to regenerate. The second line may represent the day-night circle or the mana. Anyway, in addition to the stove, we have a few potions on the top shelf. But even better, to the right of the characters is a kind of blue pottery that was found in the desert. It's therefore a rare loot that can be used as a decoration. Or, who knows, that we can sell to make money. Come on. We end with the fourth and last blog post, the one that allows us to discover 4 great new music by Oscar Garvin. The post banner is perfect. It shows 3 characters with headphones on a desert background in zone 2. On the first video, we see small translucent white mushrooms, an owl on the right, 2 small deer here, and a grizzly bear and pigeons flying away on the top left. This is obviously our base zone 1. On the second video, we find ourselves in a desert canyon in zone 2. But this is not some any canyon. It probably belongs to the Pharaohs, since some torches with skulls are arranged all along the way. In addition, a cute Pharaoh is valiantly watching his estate. Still in zone 2, we are at the entrance of a tomb. The patterns on the wall necessarily remind us of the tower we saw at the beginning of our video. I don't know what's behind that door, but I think it's full of skeletons and loot. Does the diamond on the door symbolize the fact that it's a big dungeon? An important element to complete for the main quest? This last video doesn't show much, except for the snow falling and a small goat in zone 3. And it's all for this blog post. I obviously saved the base for the end. This is a video that can be found at the end of the graphic update blog post. We already talked about it in our previous video, but there's so much to say. It's a gameplay video, can you believe it? But don't forget that everything you see is not final. The developers insist on this. The following images are only the beginning of a long work on combat mechanics. Let's start with the first frame of this video. We meet at the entrance of a dungeon, in co-op mode. Ninja Charliot, a Minecraft YouTuber, has its name appearing above his avatar. He has a beautiful iron sword and a shield. I don't know who controls the character in the foreground, but let's say it's us. We carry a mass, and our inventory is not very full. A sword, a potion that certainly restores life points, good meat to regen, a torch, and a kind of axe. Before entering the dungeon, I would like to come back to the icon at the bottom right. I still don't know what this flag could represent. The menu of our guild? The books represent our in-game encyclopedia with all the mobs we encountered. Enemies, animals, NPCs, flowers, and so on. In short, a bit like a Pokédex. The compass symbolizes our map of Orbis in order to find our way around and understand where our quests are. The stock market probably represents our inventory, but I don't know if it's like in Minecraft where only the slot in the hotbar are available. Maybe it represents the sale of items without having to go through a mansion? I don't know. You report this? And finally, we have the handshake, which I'm pretty sure must represent the exchange between friends or simply our distant friends. Let's go. The door opens and we come face to face with a multitude of skeletons. Their clothing probably show their difference in strength and weapons used. We see archers, warriors, and mages. Once they entered, the quest at the top right was like in the Emerald Forest of Zone 1, we must eliminate the skeletons. Perfect. Is there really a trap hole right there? Look at the peaks pointing toward the sky. I would not like to fall in. At the bottom right, we also see that every time we harvest skeleton bones, a kind of success is displayed. Probably the secondary stages of the ongoing quests. I love the way the skeletons fall apart once they're not out. And this moment is perfect. Our character kills the skeleton mage and looks directly at his magic book. It seems that owning the book is enough to cast spells. Since here, our avatar throws them directly with his left hand and not a wand. Once all the enemies are killed, we can access the chest. But first, take a good look. We are changing our minds. We were in the first person view until now, and now we are in the third person view. In addition, when changing tools or weapons, the name is displayed just above the bar. The fire sword obtained in the chest is the same as the one seen in Hytale announcement trailer. Well, I suggest you watch that video one last time by focusing only on movements and attacks. Paf! a small blow to open the door. Classic left to right shots to kill the enemy. And now we see a loaded attack. The characters lift his hammer until he hits the skeleton hard. This attack is probably only available for 200 weapons. Then we go back to the sword. The movements are much more fluid and fast. We probably have to spam the left click to make such moves. When you use the magic book, you can see that there is a loading time of 1 to 2 seconds between each spell cast. But above all, you have to know how to aim. That's it for the analysis of all the new images and videos that fell on November 27th. I hope you learned something or at least had a good time. As a reminder, the game will not be released until 2021 for the public, but it could happen that a beta will appear in 2020. To wait until then, don't hesitate to join us on Discord to discuss with us and the community about the game. Thank you all for watching this video. Feel free to comment if there are things that I haven't seen in the pictures. It was Axel and I'll see you next time on Hytale UP.